Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to show you 4 super simple weekday recipes. So I actually had leftovers for some of the other meals in my week, but this is basically a week's worth of lunches for me. So I love to meal prep. I do meal prep a lot of the time, but I wanted to show you kind of my process, how I use leftovers, how I use up what's in my fridge, and also how I create really delicious, healthy, but balanced meals. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Here are some of the meals I made last week, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye! Alrighty, so the first recipe of the week was some burrito bowls. So this meal is so good and it's amazing for meal prep. So I did meal prep this. I made 3 serves. So as you can see here, I'm cooking up some rice in my Instant Pot. It only takes 6 minutes in the Instant Pot, which is just incredible. And I actually made 6 serves of rice there because I'm going to be using some rice in a different meal later on. So this is the mince I used today. I actually just bought it because it was on sale. I usually get the naturally mince, but this one was actually really good too. They're both great. I love having a bit of plant-based alternative meats in my diet. I just find it really tasty. And it's just a nice change up to tofu and tempeh because most of my meals usually contain tofu and tempeh. So it's just a bit of a change and I do really like the flavor. So here I'm just adding in some smoked paprika as well as some cumin, and then I'm going to add in some chopped tomatoes. And I also added in a cube of the Marcel plant-based beef stock. I just think it adds a really nice flavor into this dish. So as you can see now, the rice is all done. It's so quick and easy. Honestly, if you have an Instant Pot, I highly recommend cooking your rice in it because it also makes it really fluffy and kind of sticky. And yeah, it works so well. Literally, you just put in the rice, some water, and then chuck it on the pressure cooker setting for 6 minutes, and that's it. Anyway, the last part of this burrito bowl that I have to cook is just frying up some onion and capsicum. I really love frying up onion and capsicum. I just think it gives it a really nice flavor. And obviously I just used that same pan that I used for the plant-based beef. Now into my rice, I'm adding in some lime juice. I think it just really makes the rice taste delicious. And you could also add in some fresh coriander if you have that. That also tastes amazing in rice. I just didn't have any on hand, so I didn't bother with that. But if I did have some, I would totally add that in. And now it is time to assemble the bowls. So I've put a bed of lettuce onto the serving that I'm going to have for lunch today, but I'm also making 2 extra serves, but I would not recommend adding in lettuce into those because obviously it will just wilt down when you have to reheat it later. So I've just put in the lettuce, the rice, the plant-based beef mix, and then also the sauteed capsicums and onions. So I've added that all in. And then also I wanted to add in some refried beans. So I just think it adds a really nice flavor. You don't have to do this. You could just add in regular, pinto beans, black beans, whatever you like. But the refried beans just give it a nice little taste, which I really enjoy. So that's it for the meal prep containers. They can go into the fridge and they are ready for when you want them later. And then finally, I'm adding in 1/4 of an avocado to my serve that I'm having now for lunch. So again, you don't want to add in fresh avocado into something that you're going to heat up in the microwave later. So make sure you keep that separate and then just add it on top when you are ready to eat. And this is the final product. Honestly, so tasty, and it was really filling as well. Perfect for meal prep. Perfect for, a post-workout meal or just whatever time of day. Like, it's honestly so tasty and refreshing because it's got those fresh elements as well. Highly recommend. All right, so on to recipe number 2. The second recipe in this video is a sushi bowl. So as I mentioned earlier, I made some extra servings of rice, and this is where they are coming in handy. So firstly, we need to make our tofu. So I'm just using some firm tofu here, and I've cut it up lengthways, and I'm just adding in some cornstarch to give it a bit of a coating. And now it's time to fry it on a non-stick pan. So I am using a bit of extra virgin olive oil just to fry up my tofu. And you want to fry it until it gets a nice kind of crispy edge to it. And that's what the cornstarch really helps with. The cornstarch kind of gives it this almost batter-like outer edge, which means that it crisps up a lot better than if it was just the plain tofu in the pan. So I would highly recommend that. I do have a recipe video where I make tofu in different ways, and this is one of the styles from that video. So definitely check that video out if you want some more tips about how to make tofu really taste delicious. But yeah, in this video, I'm just using some store-bought teriyaki sauce. So as you can see here, it's this really yummy, actually, teriyaki sauce. I just got it from Woolworths and it adds a beautiful flavor to the tofu. I find so many people just eat plain tofu and that is why it doesn't taste good. You literally need to add flavor to it to make it taste amazing. And that's what I've done here. And literally that's all you need to cook. So I have my pre-cooked rice from the previous meal, then I'm adding in some fresh veggies, some avocado, some seaweed. So I've just used nori sheets here that I've cut up into little bits and then topping it off with some sesame seeds. And that is all you have to do. Honestly, this is such a simple meal, so quick and easy. If you have already meal prepped some rice, it's a really, really fast, simple lunch idea. Tastes incredible. And yeah, I'm literally gonna make this so often now because it's so good. Would highly recommend. All right, so the next day I had leftovers from my sushi bowl, but I wanted to try something different. I had seen on occasion people making sushi burritos, so I really wanted to give it a go. I didn't even look at a recipe or anything. I just kind of winged it, which is my favorite thing in the kitchen. I just love winging things and making up new fun ways to eat different flavors. And so that's what I've done here. So I've cooked my tofu basically the same, but I decided to put it in the air fryer for a few minutes to get it even crispier because I kind of wanted to make like a, you know, when people eat like crispy chicken sushi rolls, like I'm trying to get that vibe. So I put my little tofu strips in the air fryer. It worked really well, by the way. And now I'm putting together 2 nori sheets. I've just put a little bit of water to try and kind of glue them together because I did think I was going to need a slightly bigger piece of nori to make a proper burrito style sushi burrito. So then I've added on my leftover rice again onto my nori sheets. And as you can see here, I'm just flattening it down so that it's kind of evenly distributed across the nori. And I put it across where I glued the nori sheets together to hopefully help bind it a little bit better. Then I put on some capsicum, some grated carrot, as well as some cucumber. And now I'm going in with some avocado strips, as well as the air fried tofu. And now it is time to roll it up. I was pleasantly surprised at how easy this was. Like, I was expecting it to kind of fail, but it didn't. So would highly recommend making a sushi burrito if you haven't before. And it just tasted amazing and it was so fun to eat as well. Like, it was a little bit hard to eat, as you'll see shortly, but it was so fun. It's just awesome having new experiences and trying new different ways to cook and eat foods. I just find it really fun. And it's an experience, you know, food is meant to be enjoyed as much as it is fuel for your body. It's also an experience where you can have fun and appreciate the food that you're having. So yeah, I really enjoyed this experience. Took a little photo and video of it on my phone, as you can see now. And I've just served it up with some soy sauce. That's it. Super simple, quick, easy. Again, this only took me probably 5 to 10 minutes to put together. It was really quite easy. When you have meal prepped rice, I swear, like meal prepping certain aspects of your food is a game changer because it makes meals come together so quickly. And I highly recommend doing that if you haven't already, like making a big batch of rice or making a big batch of beans or pre-cutting up your vegetables. It makes things so much easier when you actually come to eat, especially if you are someone who is busy and is working a lot. So yeah, would recommend this recipe. All right, on to recipe number 4. I made a tempeh bowl. So I had some vegetables that I had in the fridge that needed using up. So what better way to use them up than in a big Buddha bowl style thing. So firstly, I had this butternut pumpkin. I just chopped it up nice and small and put that into a lined baking tray with some spices. So today I decided to add in some sumac. Sumac is a really nice spice. If you haven't tried it before, would recommend. It tastes amazing on pumpkin. So I put in lots of sumac, and then I've also put in a little bit of paprika as well as some salt and pepper. So now I'm just putting all of that pumpkin onto the tray and mixing it up with all of those spices. You want to get them nice and evenly coated so that each little morsel has a really delightful flavor to it. So that's what I'm doing here. And then put that straight into the oven for about 30 minutes. So it depends on how small you cut up your pumpkin as to how slow or fast it will cook, but I definitely recommend putting that on first and then getting on to the rest of the meal. So here I'm making some quinoa. I decided to make 3 servings here. I often like to make batches of 3. So I like 3 meals because I have 1 on the day and then I have 2 as leftovers. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got 1 cup of quinoa here to be cooked in a pot with some stock. So big tip is to add in some stock powder into your quinoa or even rice when it's cooking to add a really nice flavor. So this is a plant-based chicken style stock. It's so tasty. It just adds a really nice flavor. You don't need to add too much. It's just like a subtle, flavor to add into the quinoa, which I think is really, really good. So definitely would recommend that if you haven't tried that already. And then it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. So again, super easy. And while that's cooking, it's time to prepare the rest of the bowl. So I'm steaming up some broccoli. I love broccoli. It's one of my favorite vegetables. Well, one of my favorite green vegetables, at least. I always had it from a very young age and I just think it's really good. And also it's a cruciferous vegetable, which are really important to have in your diet. So yep, love broccoli. And then I wanted to mention that I'm also going to be using the stems of the broccoli. It's something really important. A lot of people just chuck them in the bin, but they still have a lot of nutrition in them and it's great to, not waste as much. So I like to chop up the stems into small little pieces and then fry them, and they get a really nice flavor into them when you fry them with some spices. So that's what I'm going to be doing shortly. This is the tempeh that I bought. This is the first time I'd ever tried it, and they just brought it out at Woolies recently. And oh my gosh, guys, it tastes so good. I think I've had 2 of the flavors. So this is the massaman one, and I've also had the coconut and chili one. They were both incredible. Definitely going to buy them both again. So if you haven't tried them yet, I highly recommend. I haven't tried I think there's a Thai curry flavor. I haven't tried that one yet, but the massaman and the chili coconut are so good. So I'm just frying them up in a pan. I'm just frying up 1 serving's worth for my tempeh today, because I like the tempeh to be kind of crispy, so I do it when I'm eating it. And so here is my little bits of broccoli, and I'm adding some of the sauce from the tempeh packet just to give it a bit more flavoring. And yeah, I'm just frying that all up, and that's literally all you have to do. Super simple, super easy, and delicious. So as you can see now, my quinoa is ready. Did not take very long, as well as my steamed broccoli. So this whole dish comes together really, really quickly. It's so good and great for a weekday meal, but also great for meal prep. So now I've got some leftover coleslaw that I had in the fridge, as well as my quinoa, my steamed broccoli, and then my stir-fried tempeh and broccoli stems. Putting that all in the bowl. I've got my pumpkin, which has been cooked, as well as some fresh avocado on top. So we're getting in some healthy fats from that avocado. We've got the complex carbohydrates from the quinoa, as well as the pumpkin, some great green vegetables, some cruciferous vegetables, some protein. It is a delicious, healthy, balanced meal. All right, well, there you go. Some delicious recipes for you guys to try out at home. Let me know how they go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you could give it a thumbs up. And also let me know in the comments down below what videos you'd like to see upcoming. I do have quite a few interesting videos planned, and I'm really gonna try post more often this coming month. So get excited. I love you all so much. I hope you're having the best day. Also, if you are new here and you haven't already, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos every week about living a healthy, balanced lifestyle. I share tips and tricks about fitness, nutrition, as well as mindset. And I'm actually planning on creating quite a lot more content on mindset and spirituality in the coming weeks. So definitely hit subscribe if you're interested in that stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.